News. Get the whole story.
Welcome back to the Trading Bell Show. I'm talking to Eva Ngigi, the East Africa GM at Visa, and we have an interesting conversation. And where we dropped at was on matters partnerships, and I was asking you about you're quite bullish about partnerships with startups, and I'm curious to know why and how does this, in general, just affect not only just the startup ecosystem but people in general around it, and what's driving this?
Let me start with the last question. What's driving this? So when you look at the role of fintech in the financial services space, it's a critical one. Yeah, we've always talked about Africa having the highest number of underserved merchants, the highest number of underserved individuals. So fintech comes in, riding the wave of mobile, as a core part to our lifestyle. It comes in, on the backdrop of evolving technology, so cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and the likes. It comes in on the backdrop of financial inclusion, where traditional financial services has been here for a long time, but not managed to reach everyone because of cost, what you would call the high cost to serve. So fintech becomes extremely critical. So I talked about Visa running an inclusive agenda. We see fintech as a bridge to that. The framework we've built is one where fintech infuses with the business model that we've got. So banks are very critical to our business model. And so fintech comes in handheld by banks who have the experience to navigate the financial services space, and fintech with the experience of tech, innovation, building for clients, and building for clients who have traditionally not used financial services. So we play that sort of connection mediator role. So as a start, we have a program called the Visa FinTech Fast Track Program, where we accelerate getting them into our ecosystem. So we simplify. So we have a developer platform where we simplify it for them to come test their technology, get certified, and get allowed to build products on our network. The second one is we provide some mentorship when it comes to risk and governance. So we will guide them through, our risk framework to make sure that they're not introducing new risks to the financial system. And then the third one is, through our partnership with the banks, build a sponsorship model. Again, we know, they're very agile in how they operate. So we will then make sure that the ecosystem is ready to accept them once they're ready, once they've gone through the steps that I've outlined. So it's a three-pronged approach. Very inclusive, very collaborative, and also, putting risk and security at the center of it.
And so anybody with something that they want to partner with Visa can reach out to you?
Definitely. And that's why we have this space. That's why we have this space to, get them, help them get a feel of what we are about. Help them get a feel of what does the market need? I mean, this is a studio that uses the principles of innovation. One of them being HCD, the human-centered design, to create and build for clients. So we will also provide that mentorship to them as they go through that innovation process.
All right. I'm also quite curious to know, because I've seen when I was looking through what you're doing and the activities you're in, you have partnered as well and are pushing the agenda of enabling SMEs, and which is actually the driver of the economy when you look at the numbers here. And what is on Visa's entry in terms of what is your agenda with the SMEs in this country?
Good question, and something that's very close to my heart. As you rightly put it, SMEs play a key role, whether it's their contribution to GDP, whether it's, the employment they create. We made a commitment globally to enable 50 million SMBs to accept digital payments.
Okay.
We're 3/4 way through that journey, currently at 40 million plus. And then when you look at where the largest number of underserved SMEs sits, it's in sub-Saharan Africa. So the things we're doing to drive that agenda are, let me list out the three top. One is simplifying the process by creating or making available technologies that reduce the barrier to entry. Yeah, so traditionally, the card has transacted on a physical POS, which can be quite prohibitive when it comes to cost.
Yeah.
So with new technologies like a QR, all you need to do is print out the QR, and the following day you're accepting digital payments. The second one is a technology called tap to phone, and that's the acceptance software sitting on a mobile device.
Yeah.
So think about, a merchant bringing their own mobile device. We give them secure technology, and the following day they can begin accepting payments. So reducing the barriers, with technology, that's one of the things. Number two is advocacy with government and the regulators.
Yeah.
To just simplify it for them. So they're very informal when it comes to the kind of licenses or documents they hold. Slightly different from more established merchants. So working together with regulatory entities to simplify the KYB process for them. Yeah. Still, with security in mind, we still need to uphold or preserve the sanctity of the financial system. So a more collaborative approach, let me just get into the detail of that. If you look at a small merchant who's probably accepting or processing 500,000 worth of payments in a month, we can look at a light touch, know your customer, know your business type of approach. Yeah, so harmonization of standards to make it easy for them to, be able to accept digital payments. So that's the second angle of it. And then number three is a partnership or a collaboration that we've built with the government. Yeah, so working with government to ensure, sort of riding on the programs that they've built for SMBs. We talk about our role being connecting SMBs to global trade. Yeah, whether it's,
which is
providing payment gateways for them to sell online. Whether it's providing them with credentials when they need to, shop for goods on Alibaba. Yeah, so broadly, that's what we're doing. And then the last one, which is extremely important, is the point we talked about, fintech. So we've got, within the fintech group, we've got, a group called payment facilitators. So these are your, innovative payment service providers who specifically build for SMEs. So there's the value-added services I talked about, payroll processing, payment processing, inventory tracking, CRMs, etc. So certifying them onto our system to be able to provide an end-to-end solution to SMEs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. And even as we're coming to the close of this conversation, and I know there could be a lot we could speak about because the payment ecosystem is quite large in itself. And I'm glad you've touched on matters innovation and what really you're doing as a lead in this. I'm curious to understand how your sustainability agenda is placed. And I know it's part of your strategy. And, Kenyans would be curious to know that the logo on their card has a contribution in their society as well.
Yeah.
So what are you doing in the society on your sustainability agenda?
As a start, so we recently just published our 8th edition of our ESG performance. Yeah, and that's really, articulating what we've done for the various constituents that we serve, whether it's people, whether it's, community, the government, and our planet, the planet that we call home. So that was a start, just showing the world the progress that we've made alongside the commitments that we've made. So I talked about our commitment to enabling 50 million small and medium-sized businesses. So the numbers are there in terms of this is how much we've been able to achieve. The other aspect is, our commitment to providing a secure system to everyone that we serve. Yeah, that really means a lot to us. And then, from a governance point of view, how are we, tracking alongside what's been put out by the various regulations and governments in terms of running an efficient and transparent organization.
Yeah.
But let me talk about the environment, which is really something that we need to continuously talk about. So, like as a team, where we will be having a tree planting activity.
Yeah.
In the next couple of days, and that's more in line with the commitment or the challenge that the government has put out.
Yeah.
We are a small team of an odd 40 people.
Okay.
We want to play our part in terms of conserving the environment. And then even with the joint activities that we run with our partners, there's different markets where we've partnered with some of our financial institutions to provide what we call the plastic card, something more eco-friendly. Driving thought leadership.
Okay.
In terms of what are some of the things that we believe will go a long way in terms of preserving the environment. It's the Global Earth Month. So running multiple activities to drive awareness on what we need to do to protect our planet. But I think most importantly is doing what we do best.
Okay.
So one of the things that we've taken on as an institution, it's been very close to us here in the Kenya office, is financial literacy. So last year during the financial literacy month, we ran several sessions. So we had a session with women-owned businesses where we use this space to discuss what are some of the challenges that businesses suffer from, that limit growth. We had a session with kids, to provide a few tips on financial literacy. Financial literacy is not really at the core of our curriculum. So we took the time, teams volunteered, and we had a session with school-going kids and sharing knowledge around financial literacy. We've done a lot, on the tourism side, whether it's using our expertise in terms of data and insights to help the government drive their tourism agenda. And that's largely because, when I look back at our purpose, including everyone everywhere, communities that include everyone everywhere, uplift everyone everywhere.
Right.
So including everyone everywhere by being the best way to pay and be paid.
All right.
I think this is some of the initiatives that we're running to live up to that purpose.
I know, and I saw quite a number as well. And I know you've just summarized. Finally, I saw you, I think, with the leaders of the government of the day. Anything on the in-tray in line with the government's agenda? Briefly?
A lot. If I can touch on the three top.
Yes.
One is we are playing our role in driving digitization of government. So the work right now, we are powering e-Citizen.
Okay.
We have provided our secure payment gateway. We are powering iTax. We are working with the Ministry of Tourism, whether it's provision of insights. We have been a long-standing partner of KWS when it comes to going cashless. We are working with county governments to also streamline how they collect payments. So really using our expertise, secure, seamless, convenient payments to make it simpler for government to provide services to citizens.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for your time, Eva.
Thank you.
There you have it right here on the Trading Bell Show, and Eva Ngigi has done her part, really taking us through a tour of what they can do to change the ecosystem, especially for SMEs, and making it easy for payments to happen in this country and even beyond. Thank you so much for your time. I leave you right now with the markets as I take my tour.